In my hands, I've got a combo set of Srixon ZX7 and ZX5 irons. I've got the ZX5 5 iron, ZX7 in the 7 and 9 iron. I've changed the shafts and I want to see what the difference is. The original shafts in the clubs were the Modus 3 Tor 120X. The shafts that I've put in the clubs are the Project X Catalyst 80 in a 6.5. So they're the same flex, but they're much lighter and graphite. So I'm just going to start with the 9 iron. I did get some data with the previous shafts that I'll be able to compare to. The carry I had was 151 with 7,200 spin. So let's see how that compares. Definitely feels lighter, but I did build them at exactly the same swing weight. Same carry, more spin so far. Ooh, I'll drop kick that a little bit. They caught the ground early, turned it over. I am prone to a little drop kick pull. Picked off nicely, tiny little draw straight at the pin. A little bit more yardage and a lot more spin. Again, I think the weight of that spiked up to 156 with 7,500 spin. They just feel a lot easier to swing as well. I'm not having to put too much effort into it, even though it is an extra stiff. Compared to the steel, just a bit easier. And it's maybe taken me a few swings just to get used to that difference in feel, but actually feels like there's less bend in the shaft than I had in the Modus 3, because I did hug the left-hand side with the Modus 3. Now this is a bit more neutral and a bit more towards the pin, a little bit of adjustment. So now I've got the ZX7 7 iron. Yeah, definitely harder to turn over left, even though we've got the same lie angles, same swing weight, nothing's changed there. So with the steel shaft, I had 182 carry on average. That was 4 yards shy. That was better contact. See, I felt like that wanted to turn left, but it didn't. It's just held its line a lot better. There's definitely a lot less kick into the ball, so the face isn't shutting down as easily. 181 carry. Now being lighter, I feel like I can get more force into the shot. It's not quite transferring to more distance just yet. It's a lot more energy in the ball, but more spins coming out of it. So that spin would generally fall into more stop on the green, which is what we want with an iron. On the green again. Nice. So for me, I've just had to adjust a little bit to them, but that's the same carry with about 500 revs more spin. Now if you already spin the ball too much, then maybe a graphite shaft isn't the way to go. But for me, I quite like it. Apart from when I drop kick pull it. Although it's not that bad a pull, it's still on the surface. Okay, grouping around the green, quite tidy. The ZX5's got a little bit more meat and a bit more forgiveness in the head. Be quite interesting to see how this goes. I had 213 carry with the previous shaft, 3,400 spin, and I was hugging the left side quite a lot. Yeah, it's much harder to turn these over left. There's more stiffness in the shaft. They're lighter, so I can keep up my speed through the ball and drop it next to the pin like that. And on that shot, with an extra 1,000 revs of backspin. Nice. Yeah, a little push. Harder to hit left. Same carry again, 208. So it's 5 yards shorter, but it's landing softer. Nice. I thought that was going to turn left again, but it's only just left of the pin. Left half of the green, 205. Again, 500 revs more than the previous average. Landing softer on the green. Nice. I like the rigidity of it. Might have said already, but quite enjoying it. I'm quite happy with that grouping being just right of the pin, because previously it was 28 yards left, and that extra spin landing on the green softer, very welcome. So we've got the pitching wedge, and they're looking pretty sharp. Then we go ZX5 and those lot top 2 clubs. Again, I've only hit the 5 iron. Shaft wise, spinal line, so they're all in different places, but they look pretty tidy. Catalyst, 80 gram, 6.5. So just looking into the numbers here, my direction definitely hung out to the right more. I think because there's less torque in the shaft, it didn't close down as much. So my direction was much further right in terms of finishing direction. So the side spin was really reduced. So I didn't have as much side spin as well. When I look at the back spin, so the spin was a lot more. When I get up to this end, much more spin. If you imagine that landing in the green with 1,000 more spin nearly, it's going to stop a lot quicker with a 5 iron. Yardage wise, I've lost 2 yards on the 7 iron and 5 iron, which isn't the end of the world. I've gained 3 yards with the 9 iron, but losing that spin could be because I've just created that little bit more backspin here. Ball speed wise, I've lost 0.4 miles an hour on the 7 iron. That could be a little bit down to strike. So I think if I use these shafts for a little while, I would kind of feed into them and kind of just get used to them a bit more and maintain that ball speed through the whole bag. Launch angle a little bit higher, same with the 9 iron. More spin, less side spin. I was much less offline as well. Peak height was higher, so I got more height, so it might get affected by the winds just a little bit more. So maybe you get some spin numbers that aren't high enough and you want to increase your spin. Graphite could be a way to go. There's lots of different ways to do it, with lots more choice in the market for graphite shafts. Lots of benefits I can see to them.